Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going on a bit of a treasure hunt, but we're not looking for gold. We're hunting for words. We're going to uncover the everyday modern English phrases that are hiding inside some of the oldest, most epic stories you can imagine. So let me ask you something. What could a sailor from 1,000 years ago and a giant wooden horse possibly teach you about how you talk today? You probably think, well, they're just cool stories about heroes and monsters, right? But what if I told you they're actually the secret origin story for phrases you use all the time? Oh, way more than you think, seriously. These stories are an absolute goldmine of everyday English. And here's the cool part. When you see these phrases in their original, super high-stakes context, that's what makes them stick in your brain forever. All right, let's jump right in. Our first hero is a legendary sailor whose name basically means adventure. Yep, we're talking about Sinbad. So picture this. Sinbad survives yet another crazy, dangerous voyage. He's back home, he's safe, he's rich, but something's not quite right. He doesn't stay home for long. And the story uses this perfect little phrase to describe that restless feeling he just can't shake. And that phrase is itchy feet. You know what that means, right? It's that feeling of wanting to travel or just move on. It's that universal urge we all get sometimes to just see what's out there, to start something new or just get away from the same old, same old. I mean, think about it. Have you ever felt restless in a job or in a city? That's itchy feet. It's kind of wild, right? An ancient sailor's craving for adventure is the exact same feeling you get sitting at your desk dreaming about your next vacation. That one phrase connects us right back to him across all those years. So, of course, Sinbad gives in to those itchy feet and sets sail. He stops at this beautiful, deserted island. The scene is just perfect. You can almost hear him thinking, this is the life. And yeah, that's right before he finds out the island is actually a giant sleeping sea monster. Whoops. But that phrase, this is the life, it perfectly captures that moment of pure happiness, doesn't it? It's an expression of total contentment in that exact moment. We say it all the time, right? When you're on vacation, kicking back with friends, or even just sipping a really good cup of coffee. It's just the ultimate expression of everything is perfect right now. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see what happens when Sinbad finds himself in, much more dangerous situations. Because the language for danger and concern is just as important. All right, so get this. Sinbad gets trapped in this deep-sided valley. It's swarming with giant snakes. Oh, and the ground is covered in priceless jewels. But there's no way out. I mean, talk about a valley of terror. High risk, high reward, for sure. So what does he do? He comes up with this totally wild plan. Step 1, find a dead sheep. Step 2, tie himself to it with his turban. And step 3, wait for a giant rock bird to think it's dinner and swoop down. He's basically trying to hitch a ride on a predator to get out. So he quickly ties himself to the sheep and waits. And the story says, in no time, a rock swooped down and grabbed the sheep in its claws. The plan works, and it works fast. And there it is, in no time. It just means very quickly or soon. You might say, I'll get that done in no time. But hearing it in a story where a guy is escaping a valley of giant snakes, suddenly that phrase has so much more weight, doesn't it? It really sticks with you. That's the power of learning this way. Okay, so on another island, Sinbad finds this strange old man stuck by a stream. And what's the first thing he does? He asks a simple, caring question, one you're probably asked 100 times yourself. What's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong? It's just a common way to ask someone why they seem upset or sick. It's so simple, but it shows you're paying attention and that you care. And it's right here, in this ancient story. Now, it turns out this old guy is actually a monster who ends up trapping him. But Sinbad's first instinct was pure empathy. And that's pretty cool. But it's not just in Sinbad's tales. Let's switch gears and jump to another epic, the Trojan War. Because we're going to see the exact same thing when it comes to the language of love and deception. The entire Trojan War, we're talking a 10-year war, all starts because of this one moment. The story says that when Paris met Helen, he fell madly in love, and Helen had fallen for Paris too. And that phrase, to fall for someone, is just perfect, isn't it? It means to develop strong romantic feelings for someone. It implies something sudden, something you can't control. It's not a choice, you fall. And that one little phrase kicks off one of the most famous conflicts ever told. Okay, fast forward 10 long years. The war finally ends, but not with a big battle. It ends with a trick. The Greeks pretend to leave, but they abandon this giant wooden horse. And the Trojans, well, they just couldn't believe their eyes. And that's our next one. Couldn't believe their eyes. It means to be extremely surprised by what you're seeing. It just perfectly captures that moment of total shock and awe. They're seeing something so weird, so out of place, they can hardly process it. A moment of wonder, right before everything goes very, very wrong for them. So, we've sailed with Sinbad, we've watched Troy fall. What does this all mean? What's the point of all this? Why are these stories such great teachers for language? Well, here's the thing. Stories give words context and emotion, and that makes them super powerful and way easier to remember. Learning words from a list is fine, but learning them from a story with all the danger and the love and the surprises, that gives the words hooks that stick right in your memory. So here's what you should take away from all this. First, context makes language stick. Those high-stakes stories make the phrases really memorable. And it turns out our everyday English is just hiding in these ancient legends. So, a great way to learn a language is to just read stories. You don't just learn in no time. You feel Sinbad's escape. You don't just learn fall for someone. You understand that feeling started a whole war. It's pretty amazing. Which kind of leaves us with one last question for you. What phrases are hiding in your favorite stories? The next time you're reading a book or even just watching a movie, listen for them. You might be surprised to find out what you've been saying all along.